Hi, and greeting to all. Me, Janice, and my partner Yanzi will be sharing about the case study Miconia Crenata as a destructive invader in Malaysia. First of all, let me introduce some info about Miconia Crenata. It is synonym with Cardamia hutar, and it is commonly known as coastal curve and salt bus. In Malaysia, it is known as senduduk bulu. It belongs to the family Melastomata. It is a type of perennial and woody shrub that can grow up to 3 meters. For your information, it is ranked among the most 100 notorious weeds in the world. Apart from that, it can reproduce through sexual reproduction or through apomnesis. This is the overview of Miconia crenata. Miconia crenata is very notable for its leaf. Its leaf is oval and oblong in shape. It has five major veins spreading from the base to the tips. And when you touch the leaf, you will feel peppery and rough, just like the sandpaper. It also has crenate margins. Next, it has small white flowers which has five petals. The inflorescence often appear in cluster or grow from axillary or terminary. Miconia crenata produce interesting berries. The berries are purplish red when mature and green when immature. Do you know one fruit can contain 200 to 900 seeds, which is a really huge number. Next, let us look on the stems. The stem of Miconia crenata is very hairy, covered with red and bristly hairs. What made microcrenata a successful plant? The first factor is the high fertility, where one plant can produce up to 500 fruits per season. Secondly, it has high reproductive rate and growth rate, which enable it to reproduce quickly after having physical damage, and form thickets that outcompete native vegetations. The third factor is it has high seed persistence where its seeds can remain bearable under the ground for about 4 years and germinate quickly when it is in favorable condition. The fourth factor is it has high tolerance where it can adapt very quickly to the condition wherever the condition is harsh or fertile, means it has high adaptable to survive.
For the native range of Microna crenata, it is indigenous to tropic, tropical America, covering South America, Central America, and the Caribbean. It originally a perennial species found at low density in the early secondary rainforest community, and it spread aggressively to the old tropics, becoming a serious pest in Oceania, Southeast Asia, and the Indian subcontinent. And for their history in pet, in Hawaii, it identified in 1941 in Oahu and declared hazardous by 1957, and it infested more than 100,000 hectares by 1988. In Malaysia, the seed first detected in 1971 at Paso Forest Reserve. For method of introduction of Micronia crenata, it start at tropical Central and South America. The main carrier is human who brought it worldwide. In purpose, it introduced as an attractive garden plant, for example in Hawaii, Fiji. By accident, it sprayed unintentionally as a contaminant, for example in the soil. The second method is through dispersals. The bird eat the fruit and fly the seed away, and the feral pig sprays it in their dropping, and then people carry seed on the tissue, car tire, and in contaminated soil.
Now I would like to introduce two types of mechanical control. The first one is hand pulling methods, while the second one is digging out methods. Hand pulling method is applicable for young seedlings, while the digging out method is applicable for mature plants. Both method is very useful to remove entire root system and plants from the soil. However, this method has its own limitation due to the quick responding of Miconia crenata. Now let me introduce some of the biological control agents. The first one is the leaf feeders. The Leotherips eurici will help to inhibit the vegetative growth of Miconia crenatas. Second one is the reproductive disruptors, the larvae of Morpha tuitarama and Carbocina burrata, which feed on the reproductive parts such as flowers and seeds within the berries. The third one is the fungus, Coriototrichum crosporioides, which induce the periodic stress of the Miconia crenatas. Although many biological control agents were introduced, however, many of them are failed due to the biotic factors such as the leaf feeders are prey by their own predator, while the reproductive disruptors are facing the problems such as parasitism.
For the chemical control of Miconia crenata, we often use tricopier or fluorocephaly application method. The first way is use high-dose foliar spray. It is best suited for bigger area or smaller plants. The goal is to ensure full leaf coverage to maximize absorption and systemic translocation throughout the plant. The second one is called cut stump or basal bud. It requires for older, larger tree. The trunk must be severed and immediately sprayed. This ensures the herbicide enter the vascular system directly to prevent regeneration.
The best way to control the population of Miconia crenata is through IWM, the integrated weed management, which involves the combination of many methods. The first step of IWM is mechanical clearing, which involves the manual cut down or clearing of woody Miconia crenata. Secondly, apply the chemical treatment immediately after the mechanical removal to prevent regeneration. The third step is the long-term monitoring, where the manual weeding carried out from time to time for many years to reduce cover and prevent fruiting.
For the below part, human transform land for oil palm plantation. Oil palm plantation provide food to whale pig. The whale pig aerate the soil through rooting, destroy the natural sampling. Whale pig disperse the seed of Microna crenata through rooting. Microna crenata are the food sources of Huchi fusca and Azalis malaysian. Huchi fusca deposit the egg within the stem of Micronia crenata. At left part, it shown flower pecker is seed dispersers of Microna crenata, and Microna crenata is food sources of flower pecker. Microna crenata produces small, purplish berry with hundreds of seeds. Frugivorous birds such as flower picker consume the berry as their food source. The tiny seeds pass through dropping, helping the plant disperse over long distance. For long-tail makeup, they are opportunistic omnivore, feeds on fruit along forest edges. They disturb the soils and vegetation, creating suitable microhabitat for seed germination and disperses seed through dropping. At the left part, Microna crenata inhibitory effect through overshading and displaces native understory and forest floor plant in dithyrocard forest.